Welcome to Sense and Nonsense A to Z, where we pick topics based off of the letter of the day. Today is episode 19 of season 1, featuring the letter S.
We're family and we're your hosts, AT and Z. So let's get started. Let's begin with salve.
Salve?
Yeah.
Nice.
Latin.
Ooh.
Do they even teach Latin at schools anymore?
No, you have to, specifically do that when you get older.
That's a shame.
It is a shame because it's not a dead language.
Definitely not.
I don't understand why they say it's a dead language. Just because people don't speak it as a native tongue anymore doesn't mean it's a dead language.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So anyway, I got something for you about schools later on. So we'll get to that. But yeah, I'm a little surprised.
I know.
Because there's so many different things in life that refer to Latin.
All the
Money.
scientifics, all the scientific stuff,
Yeah.
all the genuses and species and everything is in Latin.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And there's so many texts that are in Latin.
Yeah. So anyway, anything going on with you, Z?
Well, we watched the Queen's Jubilee celebration.
Oh, nice.
That was pretty cool. Queen played. They opened the show.
Did they?
Yeah, it was good. It was good. The whole thing was pretty good. And they finished up with Diana Ross. And there were a lot of Americans. Alicia Keys was in there. I was like,
nice.
A lot of Americans.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah. So that was fun. I had fun watching that. What's up with you?
I've been watching some sports. And of course, my New York Rangers beat the Hurricanes in 7 games. They took the Metropolitan Division. So now they're playing the Tampa Bay Lightnings for the conference championship. Right now, they're ahead 2-1 with game 4 in Tampa tomorrow night. So whoever wins goes to the Stanley Cup. Woo-hoo.
Wow.
Yeah.
Nice.
Are you watching any basketball? We got the finals going on right now.
I used to watch baseball in October. I like hockey in person. I don't like watching hockey on TV. Football, I get very emotionally involved.
Okay.
Racing, I just don't have time to watch anymore.
Yeah, that's
it's not that I don't like these things necessarily, but it's just that other things have demand on my time, and they're just
I don't sit down and watch NBA right now. I mean, it's the Golden State Warriors against the Boston Celtics, and they're tied 1 game apiece. So it's exciting because they're pretty even.
Well, I do like Steph Curry, so
I do too.
I mean,
he's doing well, by the way.
Have you ever watched Holy Moly?
No.
My God.
What's a holy moly?
It is
I say it all the time.
Stephen Curry created this show about extreme mini golf called Holy Moly, and Joe Tessitore and Rob Riggle commentate it, and it's hilarious. It's dynamite. It's hilarious. It's in season 4 right now. Look it up. Holy moly. It's hilarious. When my dad's here, that's all we do is watch sports. And I sit there and I watch it with him and stuff. And
yeah, that's my priority. Sports.
Also, we should update because we talked about it.
Okay.
Johnny Depp did win the defamation trial.
I know. I heard.
Yeah. And there's still, even though it's over, there's lots and lots still of controversy going on. Some people say it was, even though it was a win, it was still a loss because they aired so much dirty laundry. And some people are making it out to be like setting back the Me Too movement or somehow.
That's ridiculous.
So now they're traumatized because of this and that and the other thing. And I think the point has been missed. It's not setting back believing in women when you're abused, but it does say that you can't just say anything you want and get away with it.
Yeah.
And that's the problem, I think, nowadays.
That's what's been going on.
Freedom of speech to this strange level of slander.
Shouting fire in a theater.
Yeah, saying whatever you want about anybody, accusing them of a heinous thing, and then them being irreparably damaged by it.
Yep.
I don't know everything that happened in that marriage. Nobody ever will.
Oh, nobody. Yeah. But there's 3 sides to every story.
Absolutely. And the evidence provided sold a story that did not add up on her side. I would have believed her if I found her to be credible.
Yeah. I have prepared 10 questions S edition.
Okay.
All right. First question. Do you like surprises?
Yes.
You do?
Yes.
I hate them.
I know.
I hate them. Please tell me what you're planning.
This is indicative of what you talked about last time. Risk taker versus not risk taker. And I think the surprise kind of goes right in there.
Hand in hand. I think
yeah.
you're right.
Yeah.
Okay. Next question. Last time you played Scrabble?
It's been some months, but I did. I played dominoes with my neighbor, and we decided to mix it up. And we played Scrabble, and we decided that's not a good idea because you have to concentrate too much when you're playing Scrabble. You can't chit chat.
Yeah.
you know,
you got to drink wine too in the meantime?
No.
Oh, no, it's not a drinking thing too?
No, it's not. No.
Yeah. Okay. All right. It's been a while for me. I mean, it's been years.
Yeah.
I don't even know anybody who has a Scrabble board for that matter. You do.
Yeah.
Okay. She raised her hand for anybody who isn't watching.
I do. I feel like Monica. I do.
Yeah. Okay. Next question. Which season do you prefer?
Fall.
Me too. Because it cools off.
Yes.
We rarely have rain in the fall.
It's perfect. It's long sleeve jeans, boots weather. That's like my favorite.
Right up my alley too.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. Next one is fill in the blank. Super blank.
Man.
I knew you were going to say that. I knew it. Mine is bowl.
Super Bowl.
Super
okay.
Bowl.
Yeah, I got that.
Yeah. I mean, it could have been anything.
Yeah, but Superman.
Super duper.
Super pooper.
I don't think I would have came up with that one though. No. Okay, next one. Do you prefer savory or sweet?
Ooh, interesting.
I know you like both.
I do. I like both. And I like them together too. Like salt and chocolate. Yeah. I guess I would go savory overall.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
I'd lean on the sweet side.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can have sweets all day.
I know. I can't.
I shouldn't, but I can.
Yeah. No, I get that. I have to be specific with mine. Yeah. Because I can get overloaded on that fast.
Right. All right. Do you have anything special that you do on Saturday or Sunday that you don't do any other day?
I eat more. I eat like a full breakfast.
Oh, so there you go.
Something that I don't normally do during the week. Yeah. Normally it's just a smoothie. There's another S for you.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah. So it's a breakfast thing for you.
Yes. I like breakfast, and that's really the only time I can have it.
Yeah. Interesting.
What about you?
It's pretty much gardening. For some reason, I do it on the weekends. I don't know why, because, it's not like I can't do it during the week, but I just catch up with stuff. Okay, next question. Skid Row or Spin Doctors?
Skid Row.
Mine's Spin Doctors.
Really?
Yeah.
Sebastian Bach all the way.
Another S.
Yeah.
We're just oozing with S's.
Absolutely.
Okay, what's in a perfect salad?
I like a weird combination. Iceberg and spinach, because I want the crunch.
I love the spinach. That's my favorite.
And spinach, definitely. If I have some kind of like walnut or a pecan in there, I like that too. I like a balsamic vinaigrette. I'll take tomatoes.
Yeah, I have to have tomato in mine.
Little cherry tomatoes. I like cucumber too, but no seeds.
I like maybe some shredded in mine.
Maybe some shredded carrots, but shredded, not chunky.
I like that too.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like eggs sometimes in it too. I like a good spinach salad. That's what I like.
I do too. I had this one spinach salad with strawberries and
I haven't had that in a long time.
Yeah, that's so good. Yeah. I also make a watermelon salad with spinach in it. That's really crazy good. It's got olives in it. It shouldn't be good, but it's got olives and watermelon and feta cheese and spinach, and it's really good.
That's almost a sweet and savory kind of thing.
Yes.
Yeah. We're keeping in the theme here.
Yeah, we kind of are.
Okay. We're up to question number 9, by the way.
Oh.
How often do you second guess yourself?
Too many times. All the time.
I do too. Why do we do that?
I don't know.
Make a decision and stick with it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I know. Okay. So last question, I think is going to have a little discussion to it.
Okay.
If someone offered you $100,000, would you shave your head?
I don't think so.
You don't think so for $100,000?
No.
How about 200 grand?
Maybe for 200 grand.
There's a price to it.
Maybe for 200 grand. Maybe. Yeah. I don't know. I'd have to really think about it.
Yeah,
there's
a price.
Think, I mean, eventually, yeah. But I don't think that would be a good idea for me.
It wouldn't be a good look.
No, no.
I would definitely wear a hat all the time.
No. Yeah. I am not I'm not a Demi Moore. I'm not pulling that off.
Yeah, I don't think I could pull it off either. No matter how much makeup and eye makeup you do. Yeah,
no.
And earrings. You have to do the earrings too.
Yeah.
You know. By the way, I wanted to make a mention of something. I was watching a movie a couple weeks ago, and I had the closed captioning on.
Yeah,
as I usually do. I think you do too when you
all the
watch
time.
Stuff.
Yeah.
And you know the knock, dun 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 dun.
Shave and haircut.
I never knew that.
Really?
Yeah, it's called shave and haircut knock.
Yeah.
I never ever knew that, and it went by so fast. I'm like, what? Did I just read that right? I'm saying to myself, it was a movie that I was watching on cable. It wasn't like that I can backtrack it and see. So I'm like, I wrote it down, and after the movie was over, I went online and I'm like, damn, that's a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I never knew that.
Haircut.
No.
Wow.
Is that crazy?
Yeah.
Hey, you learn things.
You do.
So anyway, all right. So that was it.
I liked it.
I'm starting to ask some tough questions.
Yeah, I know.
No more fluff questions.
No.
Couple fluff, couple foodies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The food ones are surprisingly difficult.
Is that something?
Yeah.
There's so many movies that start with the letter S. This is one of my absolute favorites. It's Spaceballs.
Yeah.
Another cult classic, folks.
Yes.
1987.
Wow.
Wowzy, huh?
Yeah.
I've seen this a ton of times. How about you?
So many times. I actually have two versions of this on Blu-ray. I have the regular one, and then I have the 25th anniversary edition.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny.
I love this movie.
Yeah, I do too. It's a comedy, of course.
Yeah.
And I love Mel Brooks. He's one of my favorite people. It's a parody of Star Wars with some added elements like Wizard of Oz and a little Alien and a little Planet of the Apes all rolled into one funny movie.
And Star Trek too. And
Star Trek. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And Space Odyssey.
Yeah.
There's a whole bunch of things. Mel Brooks is his absolute genius. And it's those little things that are just so funny. That he does. And it's one of those things that you watch the movie again and it's like, hey, I didn't notice that the last time. And of course, when you're watching it on Blu-ray or you're watching it on a computer or whatever, you can stop and check stuff out. Whereas when you're in the movies or when you see it on cable or something, you just can't stop. And it's like, hey, look at that. That sort of thing.
He said he knows that everybody's not going to get all the references.
Right.
Even like the Who's on First joke, they might not get it. And especially like a lot of kids watch and they're not getting all these references. They just like it because it's a good adventure movie.
Exactly. And it's funny because I was just thinking about a joke. It's the one with the twins.
Oh, the Doublemint.
The Doublemint commercial. Yeah. It was big in the 80s that it was a Doublemint commercial and it was all twins.
Exactly.
And he says to him, go chew your gum. So funny. I just wanted to make mention of who was in it first.
Okay.
Bill Pullman was Lone Star. And Lone Star was kind of like a Luke Skywalker, Han Solo combination kind of guy.
Yeah.
Cool dude.
And he had a cowboy hat on, so he was a space cowboy.
He did. And he drove a Winnebago throughout the galaxy. And his bumper sticker said, I heart Uranus.
Yeah.
His sidekick was John Candy. His character was Barf. He was a Morg. Half man, half dog. I'm my own best friend.
Yeah.
So
he had the tail. He had the tail.
How about when he hit the waitress with the tail? Has a mind of its own. So that was a parody of Chewbacca. Daphne Zuniga was Princess Vespa, who was a spoiled rotten princess from the planet Druidia. Funny, she doesn't look Jewish. So she was a parody of Princess Leia.
Yeah, she had those bun earphones, headphones.
Oh, the braids,
the
just
braids.
like Princess Leia. I know.
It's so fun.
And she had a droid of honor who was also her guardian. It was Dot Matrix, and that was the parody of C-3PO.
Yeah.
And the voice was Joan Rivers, which was perfect.
Exactly.
Perfect. When she was talking to her in the Mercedes, and she's like, "Are you listening?" She takes off the headphones, which is the braids. It's hysterical. Rick Moranis was Dark Helmet, a parody of Darth Vader.
Yeah.
Great job he did.
Yeah, he did.
He was like a little childish too at times. You know?
That whole scene with the dolls.
Oh God.
That was his idea.
Was it really?
Yeah. Mel said he didn't script that. That was his idea to do that.
Oh, that's too funny.
I know.
I had just seen a little clip from Daphne.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody had asked her about Spaceballs 2, and this is going back years and years and years ago. It's an old clip. And they said, is it true that they're trying to do Spaceballs 2 and the only holdout is Rick Moranis? And she kind of said, you know what I know, kind of deal. So I guess there was a thought at one time, but hey, the originals are always the best anyway.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think Mel ever intended to make another one.
No,
because he's talking about like when they say, you know, God willing, we'll all meet up again in Spaceballs 2, the search for more money.
Right.
He doesn't usually make sequels, so I think that was kind of an erroneous rumor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And talk about Mel Brooks. He had 2 parts.
Yeah.
He was President Scroob, who was the incompetent leader of Planet Spaceball. And do you know how they got the name Scroob?
Brooks.
Oh, you
backwards. Do? Yeah. It's
well,
almost Brooks.
It's almost backwards, right? It's an anagram.
Yeah.
Right? And the other part that he had was Yogurt, the wise and powerful keeper of the Schwartz. Yeah. That was a parody of Yoda and the Wizard of Oz.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's funny because Mel sent George Lucas the script because I mean they're so heavily spoofing, you know, Star Wars the most.
Yeah.
And he's like, if you see anything that's over the line or whatever, you know, let me know. And George says to him, no, I trust your judgment. It's good. Just don't make any action figures. and ILM, which is a Lucasfilm company, actually did the post-production for this movie. So I mean, George Lucas was on board. Yeah.
That's cool. And Dick Van Patten was King Roland, who was the ruler of planet Druidia and Princess Vespa's father. He did a great job.
Yes, he did.
I love when he's describing the Mercedes. And he said, I paid cash. Yeah. It's a white Mercedes. I got it at a good deal. I paid cash. I got it from my cousin.
Yeah, my cousin. Yeah.
So funny. Yeah, he's got a dealership.
I love when he's like saying like, I'll pay anything to get my daughter back and try and get the car.
Yeah. And if you can you save the car?
Yeah.
That's so great. So the plot of the movie is pretty much that Planet Spaceball is running out of fresh air. And this all takes place in the galaxy. But planet Druidia has thousands of years of fresh air. They even can it, and it's called Perry Air. And I love the close-up of that can. Made in Druidia. Love that. So Planet Spaceball's President Scroob came up with a plan to have Dark Helmet and their spaceship, Spaceball 1, kidnap Princess Vespa and force her father, King Roland of Druidia, to give up the combination of his shield so that they can suck all the fresh air out of that planet and put it in their planet.
And the ship turns into a big maid with a giant vacuum.
Mega Maid.
Yeah, and she looks like the Statue of Liberty.
It's a transformer.
So good.
So funny. Oh, God. Anyway, she gets captured and her father calls up Lone Star to save her. And he'll save her for $1 million space bucks because that's how much he owes Pizza the Hut.
Yes.
Who's a gangster boss.
Yes.
It's, you know, the movie's just so funny. It's out loud funny.
Yeah. It's ridiculous.
It is. It is. And it's the little things that you have to pay attention to that just make you giggle. I remember the first time I saw this movie, I saw it in the movies.
Okay.
And the beginning of the movie is the shot of the spaceship, and the length of the spaceship. And it goes on for like a minute and a half, right?
Mel calls it the porn shot. Yeah.
And it's kind of like to the theme of Jaws, you know.
Yeah.
And I remember watching this, and I'm watching it,
and it goes on for ages,
for a long time.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, like somebody over there giggles, and somebody over there starts giggling, and then by the time a minute goes by, everybody's just giggling for the next whatever it was. Too funny.
Mm-hmm.
So a couple of different scenes that I really like. Michael Winslow, he was the radar technician. Mm-hmm. And he was really famous in the 80s for his stand-up and his sound effects. He was awesome.
He was in the Police Academy movies.
He was in all the Police Academy movies. Yeah, exactly. And when the radar gets jammed, because Lone Star threw a jar of jam at the radar, which says jam on it. And he says, I've lost the bleeps, I've lost the sweeps, and I've lost the creeps. And then he does the sound effects. You know, the bleeps. The sweeps. And the creeps. That's not all he lost.
The movie is so visual. It's such a visual thing that like half of the jokes are,
I know. Yeah.
Like when the president comes and he's like, don't ever talk to me with that helmet's down. How do I know you're not making faces at me under that thing? And he pulls the helmet up and he's sticking his tongue out at him. You know,
he is making faces at him.
Exactly.
I know, so funny.
You know, and just like little things like when Lone Star is fighting Dark Helmet and they each have the ring. And they hold their rings and the lightsaber opens from the ring and he's like, I see your Schwartz is as big as mine. It's like, oh my God. It's so filthy, but it's so funny, you know.
Well, that's during the time that he says also, before you die, there's something you should know about us, Lone Star. I am your father's brother's nephew's cousin, former roommate. So what does that make us? Absolutely nothing. Too funny.
There's so many good parts, like when they go to Yogurt and he's like, what do you
know, part.
It's this huge statue of Yogurt, like the Wizard of Oz.
They approach just like the Wizard of Oz when the four approached the wizard. Yeah.
And after he comes out, and they're like, what do you do here? And he's like, merchandising.
That's where the real money from the movie is made.
Exactly. And the wall opens up and there's the t-shirts and everything.
The store,
is there. It's like Spaceballs the t-shirt, Spaceballs the lunchbox, Spaceballs the flamethrower. The kids really love this one.
And then at the end it's the doll.
Yeah.
And the doll is him.
Yeah.
And he pulls a string.
Yeah.
May the Schwartz be with you.
That's my favorite.
Yeah, me too. And he kisses the doll. He says, adorable.
Yeah. It's just so good.
Yeah. And then right after that is one of my favorite parts too. And another visual, but Lone Star's necklace. He asked Yogurt to take a look at it.
Yeah.
He's looking at the necklace and he's going, Much. Oh, much. And he goes, you can read it? I'm just clearing my throat.
There's so many good parts in this, you know, and when you watch the extras in the 25th anniversary edition, everybody's laughing all the time.
Oh,
and they said they laughed more making the film than you laugh watching the film. It was such a joy to make. Everybody from the cast and crew to the producers, everybody said it was an enormously satisfying experience to work on this film.
And it has a happy ending.
It does too. Lone Star turns out to be a prince. That's what that necklace is. And he gets to marry the princess, which is
because she was going to marry the last prince in the galaxy, who was Jim J. Bullock.
Yeah. Prince
Valium. Yeah. Who couldn't stay awake.
No. I love the priest too, or the
I love the priest too.
Somebody's getting married today. I don't care who it is.
That's right. Be quiet. I'm sorry. Don't be sorry. Be quiet. So funny.
The short version.
Yeah.
Do you? Yes. Do you? Yes. Good. You're married. Kiss her.
So funny.
So good.
Yep.
Love it. Okay. For my favorite movie this week, I'm going to do Sherlock Holmes.
Goody.
I'm just kidding. I love me some Sherlock Holmes, especially the RDJ and Benedict Cumberbatch versions, but we know that already.
Right.
And I need to spread the love around. So
okay.
I'm picking Sahara, the 2005 movie with Matthew McConaughey.
Okay. All right. And there's a couple of movies that were named Sahara.
There were, yeah.
There was a Bogart movie years ago.
Yes. Yeah. But this is...
That I saw.
Oh, rats. So you haven't seen this movie?
I have not.
Okay.
I've not, but I've seen the trailer and I saw some clips and that sort of thing. So I have a general idea of what it's all about. And the trailer is awesome.
It is.
And it has Foo Fighters music to it.
It does.
I love it.
Yeah. This is a Dirk Pitt adventure, which was based on Clive Cussler's books. Mm-hmm. It came out in 2005, like I said, with Matthew McConaughey in the lead role of Dirk Pitt. Right. And this is actually one of my favorite roles of his. I
can see that.
Yeah. Because, it's got the Indiana Jones type of feel. Yeah. It's the adventure movie. And Steve Zahn is in it. And I love Steve Zahn.
I do too.
He's his plucky sidekick, Al Giordino. And they've known each other since kindergarten. They came up together. They went to college, Navy, and now they work for retired Admiral Jim Sandecker, who's played by William H. Macy, in the National Underwater and Marine Agency, or NUMA, and they salvage treasure that's been lost at sea. So they wind up in Lagos, Africa, reclaiming King Batin from the depths of the ocean when Dirk saves WHO doctor Ava Rojas, who's played by Penelope Cruz, from some mercenaries while she's investigating what she believes to be a plague.
Right. I like her.
Yeah, I like her too. And I like her in this role because he saves her in the beginning, but she's not a damsel. She's a doctor and she's on this mission. She thinks this plague is coming out of Mali and she's pressuring the WHO to send a team there, but they won't because Mali is in the middle of a civil war. A corrupt general named Kazim, and he's like a dictator, he's terrible, is at odds with the Tuareg, who are like the desert people, and they are a ground-based militant force that are fighting back against this dictatorship. It's a sovereign nation, so they don't want to get involved in anything. So while this is going on, Dirk finds proof of a treasure that he's been hunting for years, and it's a Civil War era ironclad battleship named the Texas that he believes is shipwrecked in Africa and it's never been heard from again. And the proof is a Confederate gold dollar that he said Jefferson Davis had made 5 samples, and one of them was supposed to be on this ship. So he's been on the hunt for it for years. He's got a contact who found the gold coin, and he says that it was found in Mali. So we've got some coincidence going on here. So Sandecker arranges for Dirk and Al and a scientist named Rudy, who's played by Rainn Wilson.
I liked him in that.
To take Dr. Rojas and her colleague up the river to Mali. And of course, this is where the adventure ensues. So they kind of part ways. He drops the doctors off, and then they kind of go up the river to Gao. And during this time, they encounter a shakedown, and the shakedown is from the Malian government, who are looking for the doctors because they do not want the doctors investigating this plague because they know what it is, and they don't want anybody shedding light on what's going on here.
They want it to continue, am I right?
The source of the plague is actually toxins that are being leached into the underground river systems by a power plant. And that plant is owned by a Frenchman named Yves Massard, who's working with General Kazim, and he's making payments to General Kazim. And what they're doing is they're taking these toxins and they're superheating them with solar power. But the problem is they can't keep up with the demand. So they're storing these toxins underground and they're just leaching into the water. And the leak is so bad that in 6 months, it would be halfway to New York, and it would be killing all plant and animal life in the ocean. And this would be irreversible by the time it hits the Atlantic. So they want to stop this before it gets any worse. But the State Department doesn't want to get involved in this at all because that's a big deal, getting involved in a sovereign nation.
Right.
So of course, Sandecker asks Dirk and Al to kind of take care of it. And he tells them they're not going to get any support. And they're like, crap. Okay. So Dr. Rojas is kidnapped by Eve Massard, and he sends Dirk and Al to their deaths. He sends them to the general to get killed, but they escape. And when they head back to the plant to get Ava back, they find it's abandoned. And they're like, where'd everybody go? And Al goes, I don't know, corporate retreat. So they're looking all over the place. They can't find anything. And they're like, and Dirk says, what would you do if you were about to be exposed as the biggest polluter in modern history? And Al goes, I don't know, run for president. Like, he is definitely the plucky comic relief in this movie. He's got so many good lines.
Yeah.
There's so many good parts.
Like I said, I mean, now it's all coming back to me. I saw it the other day, and seeing just bits and pieces of different excellent scenes. I mean, every scene that I saw was excellent. You could just put it together and come up with the movie.
Yeah.
But yeah, I really liked his character. That's the kind of humor that I like.
Me too.
Yeah.
Me too. I like it because it was serious enough and interspersed enough.
Right. A little sarcasm.
Yeah, the sarcasm. Like, it wasn't like we're writing a jokes kind of jokes. It was just like, you know, here's something that you would say, like one-liners, a lot of one-liners and stuff.
Yeah.
You know,
like the one, you know, that's my favorite hat, right?
Exactly.
That sort of thing. Yeah.
Absolutely. Just stuff like that. Like, you know, Rudy says, instead of going up the river to find the Texas, he's like, oh, I was hoping to meet a girl on the Australia trip. And Al's like, no, African war zone, ship of death, you know, like, so, you know, they stop the plant from being blown up and sealing the toxins underground. And they find an enormous amount of gold on the Texas once they do find it. And the U.S. ambassador, who is like useless, completely useless, says to Sandecker, you know, I've heard a rumor that there's some gold belonging to the U.S. on the Texas. And he goes, it would be nice if it were true, but no, I can assure you there is no gold there belonging to the U.S. They gave it all to the Tuaregs, who were ravaged. And I mean, it should go back to Africa anyway. It was from the Confederacy. So it was poetic justice, I think. And this movie,
if I remember correctly, correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah.
Wasn't it that there was a whole body of water and then it kind of dissipated, and that's why they felt that that's where the ship ended up?
Exactly. 150 years ago,
it
was on the surface, but then it kind of dried up a bit and the sands blew in and covered it. So the same river system still exists underground, but it just wasn't on the surface anymore. That's how the toxins were going 300 miles, and it was going to make its way to the Atlantic. It was traveling under that same river system. So there was a lot of controversy with this movie.
There were some lawsuits, right?
Yeah, there was some misappropriation of funds, things happening, and then they were in a kind of a war with Clive Cussler, and ultimately these things hurt the success of this movie, which is a shame because it's a light, fun adventure movie, but Clive Cussler didn't want it to be light and fun. He wanted it to be more like the books, and it was more serious and it was heavier, and he wanted it to be R-rated, but the financiers of the movie did not want it to be R-rated. So there was some problems, and he had said some negative things about the movie even before it came out. So some theaters didn't even want to show it, stuff like that. And it's a real shame because it is a fun movie.
It is a shame. It is a shame. Isn't there supposed to be a series?
There was supposed to be another one, but the kibosh really got put on it because of some of the issues that they were having with it. It's a shame because there are quite a few Dirk Pitt adventure novels that they could have drawn from, but yeah, he wanted to be R-rated, and so that's least accessible. So that didn't happen.
From what I saw, I think it was well done.
Yeah, I liked it a lot. I mean, I love Steve Zahn's character. I like Matthew McConaughey in it. I think they both did a really good job. William H. Macy's always good. I liked Penelope Cruz too.
She threw the dynamite.
She threw the dynamite, you know, and Matthew McConaughey's character is like, don't throw like a girl, you know, and then later he's like, you do throw like a girl, you know. It's just fun. It's a fun movie. I liked it, and I think it got shortchanged a bit, but if you ever get a chance to see it, I think it's worth the time.
Yeah.
Oh, and it's got a really good soundtrack.
I don't think the soundtrack has any Foo Fighters on it.
No,
I
but
think it's just the trailer has the
yeah, but I mean the movie
I think it's
itself.
All My Life is on that.
Yeah, but the movie itself has a really good soundtrack too.
We like that.
Yeah.
For our sense or nonsense portion, the category is sheep.
Like Baba, black sheep?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, that kind of sheep.
Okay.
Alrighty. So, sense or nonsense? Sheep have scent glands in their ears.
Sense.
It's nonsense.
Oh, thank God.
But they do have excellent sense of smell.
Mm-hmm.
Their scent glands are in front of their eyes.
Really?
And on their feet and in between the digits of their feet. They also communicate with each other through scent. And by the way, they're very social. Yeah.
How about that? I have a feeling I'm not going to do very well in this category.
Okay, well, hopefully next one will be okay. All right. Sense or nonsense? Several countries have more sheep than people.
Oh, I think that's sense.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. Scotland, Mongolia, Australia, New Zealand, Uruguay, Ireland, Wales, Iceland, et cetera, et cetera. For example, New Zealand has 5 million people. They have 38.4 million sheep.
Holy crap.
There are over 1 billion sheep in the world. China has the largest number of sheep.
Wow.
Followed by Australia and New Zealand. So
I didn't know that China had so many sheep.
Yeah, I didn't know that either.
That doesn't make sense to me because they're pastoral and I don't normally think of
number one.
Huh.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, I questioned it too, and I kept on checking and checking and checking. It all came up with China. Yep.
How?
I know. Okay. Sense or nonsense? Sheep do not have top front teeth. It's very specific.
Nonsense. I don't know. How do you chew grass without teeth?
They have lower ones in the front, but not on the top. What they have is a hard, bony upper palate of which the lower teeth press up against, and that's how they break down their food.
Huh.
They have incisors and they have molars in both upper and lower jaws, but they don't have anything in the front. And plus, their upper lip has a groove in between that separates it left to right.
Weird.
So yeah, so it's a good thing they only eat like leaves and plants and vegetables and grasses. Yeah.
Weird.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
I know. There's a couple crazy things that I found out about them, but okay.
All right. So I told you I wasn't going to do good.
Yeah,
so I'm
sorry.
Like, yeah, sorry.
Yeah, you got 1 out of 3.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Okay, some factoids. There are approximately 900 different species of sheep in the world. A lamb's birth weight ranges from 5 to 8 pounds. A female is called a ewe. So plural would be ewes. That's almost something that something like we say in New Jersey.
Yeah.
Ewes guys.
Yeah. What are you doing?
Males are rams. Already. So a mature ewe can weigh 90 to 300 pounds. A mature ram can weigh between 150 to 450 pounds.
Jeez.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
Their life expectancy is between 6 to 12 years. They have rectangular pupils that allow them to see wide vision, which ranges between 270 to 320 degrees.
Really?
For an example, the human sees approximately 155 degrees.
Wow.
So they can see, like, it's incredible.
Panoramic.
The only thing they can't see is right behind them.
Huh.
Yeah. So depending on the breed, they can produce between 2 and 30 pounds of wool a year. 1 pound of wool makes approximately 10 miles of yarn, and they're only sheared once a year.
That's a lot.
Yeah, it is. Sheep's milk has higher levels of protein, calcium, vitamins A, B, and E. It also has a higher level of fat, which makes it ideal for gourmet cheeses like feta, Roquefort,
Manchego.
Thank you. Manchego, Pecorino. Do you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Pecorino Romano and ricotta. During World War I, President Woodrow Wilson had a flock of sheep that were used to trim the lawns at the White House to save cost. And then their wool was auctioned off to raise money for the Red Cross.
Nice.
Yeah. We should do that to this day.
Mm-hmm.
If sheep somehow fall on their back, it's called cast sheep, C-A-S-T, cast sheep. And because of their weight distribution and their wool, they can't get back up by themselves.
Oh.
So somebody has to actually roll them over, or else it's not a good thing.
Oh.
Yeah, babies. And the last thing I have is October 27 is Hug a Sheep Day.
Really?
Yeah. So if you see a sheep, hug it.
I would never have thought that was the thing.
They're very sociable.
Yeah, they are. They are.
Yeah, I love them.
Okay, for my favorite S actor, I am going with Sandra Bullock.
I like her too.
Mm-hmm. Sandra Annette Bullock was born in Arlington, Virginia on July 26, 1964. Mm-hmm. According to the birthday book, July 26th is the day of the symbolic herald. July 26th people are strongly dominant personalities. The authority they wield lies in understanding and personifying the truths of their times in their activities and actions. And she's played a lot of real life people, which we'll talk about later. So I feel like that's true for her.
I like that book.
Yeah. They usually limit themselves to one important field or endeavor and bring to bear everything they know about life to this specialized area. And she had tried writing and directing. Mm-hmm. And she said, no, not for me. That's not where my talent lies. I'm going to act and produce. Mm-hmm. So I feel like this is true as well. And many born on this day come to hold extensive influence in their family, social circle, or society at large. Others born on this day are Carl Jung, George Bernard Shaw, Stanley Kubrick, Blake Edwards, Dorothy Hamill, Gracie Allen, Hoyt Wilhelm, the first Hall of Fame relief pitcher known for his knuckleball. I put that in for you.
Yeah, thank you.
And Mick Jagger.
Oh, how about that?
Yeah. So I've touched on some of her films before in other episodes.
We have.
Last week, when we talked about Ryan Reynolds, we talked about The Proposal. And with Keanu, we talked about Speed. And the first time I saw her was in Demolition Man with Sylvester Stallone. She played a futuristic cop in 2032 and had some kind of weird virtual sex with Sly because of germs. And at the time, I thought that was really weird. But more and more, it's looking like that might not be a bad option.
Come to think of it, I think that's the first time I saw her too.
And then in 1996, she was in A Time to Kill with Matthew McConaughey. And I really liked this movie. This was the first one where I started taking her a lot more seriously as an actor. But I really want to focus on the year 2000 with Miss Congeniality.
That's one of my favorites from her.
It's so much fun. She plays this grizzled FBI agent that has to go undercover in the Miss United States beauty pageant. And Michael Caine's in it, Benjamin Bratt, Candice Burton, and William Shatner.
Yes.
And she plays a person from New Jersey in this movie. And when she's a kid, she beats up two boys on the playground when they're just being, nincompoops. And you see her from this very early age formulate that first she's a protector. And second of all, she's not going to put up with any BS from any boy,
That's right.
So it's really good.
It's a fun movie too.
It's fun. My favorite part in this movie is when she is in this evening dress and she's rehearsing, and she's so had it with everything that has to do with this. And she can't eat anything. Michael Caine's not letting her eat anything but carrots and celery and everything. Right. And she's got 2 donuts hidden in a bust of her dress. And he makes her pull them out. And then he's like, and then she's got one in her garter. She pulls it out. She chucks it at him.
That's right.
I'm like, oh my God, I would be doing the same thing. She's got to go through the whole
she looked
pageant.
Great too.
She looked great. I mean, she really did. She's got to do the whole thing. She's got to go through the whole pageant business, and she's really not into it the whole time. But when they get
she does well.
She does well. She starts to take it more seriously. Yeah. And when they get to the Q&A part, Stan, played by William Shatner, is like, what's the one thing society needs right now? And all the girls that have come before her all say world peace, right? Of course, yes. Everybody, world peace, world peace, world peace, Stan, world peace. And it comes to her and she goes, harsher punishment for parole violators, Stan. And there's crickets. Everybody's like, what the hell did she just say? And she's like waiting to beat, and then she goes, and world peace. And everybody starts clapping.
I know.
It's so good.
That is good.
The other part that I love is the end, when she's trying to save the winner of the Miss United States pageant from accepting this crown that's a bomb.
Right.
And she's the runner-up.
Yes.
So she's like, don't accept the crown, don't accept the crown. And then she's trying to get her to not accept the crown. And everybody thinks that she's just like a disgruntled runner-up.
Exactly.
And they're trying to haul her off the stage, and security's got her, and she's like flailing everywhere. Yeah. And then she gets away from him, and the other contestants are trying to stop her. And she punches Miss Texas in the nose and breaks her nose. And she goes and she's trying to wrestle the crown from Miss USA, and she's beating her with her roses, and she's crying, and she's just like so distraught because this is supposed to be the best moment of her life, and somebody's trying to steal her crown already.
I know.
And she just finally just rips the crown off her head and throws it.
Yep.
And it explodes, and then Miss USA completely passes out from that because it's ridiculous. But I just love her.
Wimpy.
Yeah. They're friends in real life, but she's just—
Are they really?
Yeah. And then it turns out that after the pageant, they vote her Miss Congeniality, and they give her the thing, even though she's not a contestant or anything. And she's like, wow, I never thought that this could happen to someone like me. It's a really cute movie. It's an ugly duckling story, but it's also a don't judge a book by its cover story.
Right.
So I really like that about it. And it holds up.
Yeah.
In 2000, she also did a movie called 28 Days, where she had to go to rehab. I loved this film. I actually saw this before I saw Miss Congeniality. And it has Viggo Mortensen, Dominic West, Elizabeth Perkins, Steve Buscemi, Alan Tudyk, and the list goes on and on. Honestly, it's a great cast, and I love this film. Yeah, I really like this film. It's a quieter film. It deals with addiction and how people have to deal with that, and then seeing Miss Congeniality after this film, I was like, oh, she's got a lot of range to her.
Yeah.
I also loved the rom-com with Hugh Grant, 2 Weeks Notice. She plays an uptight do-gooder lawyer, and he plays a spoiled rich womanizer who's the spokesperson for his family's development company. The girl from the winner of the Miss USA pageant was also in this movie, 2 Weeks Notice.
Oh, how about that?
In 2006, she did Lake House with Keanu, which I really liked. And then in 2009, she did The Blind Side.
Yeah.
And she won an
love
Oscar
that movie.
for that role. Really good.
It was
role.
excellent.
Really good movie.
Yep.
The same year she
did
the
story and everything.
Yeah, I mean, well deserved. Yeah, good story, based on a true story. Then she did Gravity in 2003. Did you see Gravity?
Let me think about this.
When she was in space.
Yes.
Did you see it?
Yeah,
I
just didn't remember the name of the movie. Yeah, with George Clooney.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly. I didn't see it. Yeah.
Oh, you didn't?
No, I didn't see it yet.
No, it was good.
She was nominated for Academy Award for that movie.
She was excellent in it. I'm not going to tell you what happens.
Okay, don't tell me what happens. In 2015, she did Our Brand is Crisis, and she's in this movie with Billy Bob Thornton. It's based on a true story as well. And I just seen this movie, actually. It's about political elections, and she was a political strategist, and it's kind of messed up and eye-opening.
I am going to actually write this down because I think I want to watch this one.
Yeah. I mean, it's very interesting what they do to get their candidates elected. Yeah. It's based on a presidential election in Bolivia, and very eye-opening. So, yeah. And then in 2018, she did Ocean's 8. You really like that movie.
I really like that movie. I really do. I know you weren't.
I'm on the fence about it. I'm so. Yeah.
No, I liked it.
And then in 2021, she did The Unforgivable, which has her being a parolee that gets released on good behavior after serving 20 years for murder, and how society treats her once she's released because she's a cop killer. That's another one that's pretty eye-opening. The story is pretty heavy and it's pretty deep, and I won't tell anybody the outcome of that because it's a fairly new movie. So if you want to see it, you know, it's good. It's really good. It's heavy, but it's good. And then I just saw The Lost City with Channing Tatum and Daniel Radcliffe that she just did.
Right. What'd you think?
No, I didn't like it. I know what they were trying to do. They were trying to make like an updated Romancing the Stone type movie. But I think it was a little too camp. I think if they took the movie a little bit more seriously, they would have had a better outcome. Brad Pitt is actually in this movie. He has a small cameo. It's only like 5-ish minutes or so. He's the absolute best part of this movie. I would watch a movie just with him doing that role. If they wanted to make a prequel or something with him, he was phenomenal. He was outstanding. He stole the show. I know he was doing that as a favor, but he should have been the male lead. That should have been it.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah. Channing Tatum. Now he's actually the actor that I like the least in this movie. And I think he did the best job out of the leads. He committed fully and he did the most with what he had. But I feel like his character was superfluous and silly. It could have really been a great story. They could have done a really great job with it. And I found it's disappointing that they missed so badly on this one.
I saw her on Colbert and I was a little taken aback by his bluntness when he said to her face that this movie was stupid.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my God, what did he just say?
Yeah.
He told her it was stupid. And she kind of paused and she's like, then kind of, what am I doing here?
Yeah.
But then she took it in stride and continued on with it was a little awkward. I'll be honest with you.
Yeah.
But yeah, she was very professional. She continued on with the interview. The interview went very well. Yeah, it was wild.
I give her tremendous kudos for that.
Absolutely.
But I also
kind of give him kudos too.
I do
because
too,
because he was honest.
He was honest. I'm sorry, but you've got to know, and she knows, and everybody knows, not everything is a hit.
Yeah, exactly.
Sometimes you have a miss.
Yeah.
And this one was a miss. The chemistry wasn't there. The script wasn't there. It just wasn't what it needed to be. It didn't translate. I'm watching this movie and I'm going, no, no, this one was a miss. And it's a shame because I love this genre. You know, I'm disappointed that it wasn't better because this is what I'm looking for, you know? So maybe next time. I haven't seen The Bullet Train yet because that's coming out on August 5th. But it's about a bunch of assassins on a bullet train finding out that their missions intersect. So that could be interesting. She's got a starring role in that. So I'm looking forward to seeing that. I'm hoping that that's a good one. She's definitely, you know, she's had a ton of
nominations and a ton of different awards. Yeah.
She is the only person to have won an Oscar and Worst Actress in the Golden Raspberry Awards in the same year, actually 2 days apart.
Yeah.
One movie was All About Steve and the other was The Blind Side, obviously, which she won an Oscar for.
Yeah, she won a bunch of things for Blind Side.
She showed up to get the Razzie.
Did she really?
Yeah. She's one of the only people to do that. I mean, I find that to be so hilarious. She's such a good sport, you know? Good. She's known for generous donations. She's always donating to charities. She's always supporting charities. She's got a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame.
Yes.
And she's got 2 adopted children, which I think is fantastic.
Yeah, sweet. Very sweet.
She's a good lady. And I like her acting.
Yep. Me too. And she's good.
She is. And I've always felt like a little bit of a kinship with her. Like I feel like she handles stuff the way kind of we handle stuff.
We're on the same planet.
I feel
I think so too.
Case. Yeah.
I was just watching Bill Maher.
Okay.
And I didn't watch the whole thing because sometimes I just can't. But anyway, I always catch his end because usually New Rules is pretty funny.
Okay.
And entertaining and informative too. He touched on a subject that I just want to talk about real quick. It has to do with schools.
Okay.
He made a mention about some guy on TikTok. He goes around and he asks college kids these questions. I'm going to give you the answers to these. Who was the first person to land on the sun?
Are you serious?
And these kids are going, I think I know this one.
What?
Lance Armstrong? Yeah. Next question. What is the biggest city in the world? Asia. No, it's not Asia. It's Europe.
Oh my God.
Oh yeah, this gets better. If you were born in 2021, how old would you be right now? And the girl answered 21.
What?
What is the country Venice, Italy is located in? The girl said, oh, I'm studying to be a teacher. I should know this one. She says, Paris.
Oh my God.
The pièce de résistance. Where is Queen Elizabeth from? One person said Egypt, and the other person said, no, I think it's Brazil.
You friggin' kidding me?
Nope. So instead of this country worrying about, what books to ban and all that stuff, why don't we think more about the standards of what our schools are teaching kids?
Hey, you're preaching the choir on this one.
I know that. I know.
You know the troubles that I've had with the school system.
Yeah. But I thought those questions were very interesting.
Yeah. Well, little guy has been in school for a long time now. He's getting ready to go in 6th grade, and everything that he knows, I taught him.
This is not good.
It's not good at all, and state stranglehold funds for schools. And I just don't understand why legislature has such a hard time funding school.
No, should be a priority.
I don't get that.
Yeah,
whether you have a kid in school or not, the kids are going to grow up, and then what are we going to do when people who don't know
this is our
where
future.
Venice, Italy,
yeah, exactly.
What country Venice, Italy is in, has to be your doctor, has to fix your car, has to put a filling in your mouth, has to file your taxes. Come on, people. These children are the ones who are running the world soon. How is school preparing them if kids in college can't answer these questions? Who thinks somebody has landed on the sun?
Seriously.
Give me your diploma back.
I know.
That's
like
ludicrous.
He said, this country has no educational standards anymore.
No. We're too worried about posting videos on TikTok.
Yeah, there you go.
Honestly, we're too worried about that.
Social media.
It's just indicative
of which we can talk
thing.
about that for another couple hours.
Yeah, because that's an S too, and that's a nightmare as well.
Yeah. I'm sure social media started with the best of intentions.
Well, yeah. Remember when MySpace came out? It was a way originally to connect. It was like, holy crap, this is amazing.
Yeah, exactly.
But
somebody who haven't seen in 10 years, in 20 years,
you can get a hold of people that you went to school with.
Yeah, that's what it was supposed to be.
Yeah, and it quickly devolved.
Into something very ugly.
Yeah. And it's just gotten worse and worse and worse.
I know.
Oh, yay. I feel like a crotchety old man right now.
With a walker.
Get off of my lawn. So for the S band this week, I've picked Stone Temple Pilots. STP. And I feel like the more I love a thing, the harder it is to talk about, oddly.
Okay.
Because there's so much stuff that I don't want to nerd out on it, but at the same time, I love it. Scott Weiland was the lead vocalist of this band, and I loved him. I loved him very much.
He was excellent.
Yeah, I stopped listening to the band once he wasn't in it any longer, and they carried on. They had 2 other singers, but the brothers Dean DeLeo and Robert DeLeo were guitar and bass and backing vocals, and then Eric Kretz was on the drums. And they were together from 1989 until 2013, though they had a break in the middle there as well. And a lot of it is due to Scott Weiland's drug addiction. There's no bones about that. As fans, we knew it was a thing. He was in and out of rehab. And this one worried me because I thought it was going to end badly, and it did. But I loved him very, very much. And the band's first album was Core, and that was released in 1992.
Excellent.
And that was a major commercial success. And STP went on to become one of the most successful bands of the 90s because of it.
Right.
And they sold more than 18 million albums in the United States and 40 million worldwide. And they released 4 more studio albums, but Core, I think, really, it's got to be one of my favorite albums of all time. And it's definitely my favorite album from them.
Can I interject?
Absolutely.
Mine is Purple.
Purple is a close second. Purple's got a lot of good stuff going on in it. Interstate Love Song. And,
which is my favorite song from them. It's 1 and 2. Core and Purple are 1 and 2. You know, 2 and 1, 1 and 2.
Yeah. I mean, they're very close for me as well. And I'll also throw in number 4 in there because number 4 for me is like a mashup of the styles of Core and Purple.
I get it.
And so like number 4 feels like a return to where they were kind of in the beginning. Tiny Music, Songs from the Vatican Gift Shop, is kind of a departure, and Shangri-La-Di-Da didn't even really rate for me. It just felt like it was a last ditch effort, kind of. The band was kind of falling apart by then. And so I think number 4 is really the last vestiges of STP for me. But I love these albums very much. I listened to number 4 once, like 4 times in a row. You know, it's just one of those albums that each song is like a different genre, but they all come together to form a story. And it finishes up with Atlanta, which is actually one of my favorite songs from the band. I loved Scott Weiland. I loved his voice. I think he might be number 2 for me behind Freddie, actually. That's how much I loved his voice. Yeah. There's just something about it that I found to be so rich and complex. And I just really loved it. And it was interesting because they got a lot of flack critically throughout their whole careers and from other people and stuff too. And after Scott died, Smashing Pumpkins singer Billy Corgan paid an official tribute to the band and him, calling him one of the greatest voices of his generation.
Nice.
And one of the things he said was, I had confessed to Scott as well as the band many times of how wrong I had been initially in assessing their native brilliance. And like Bowie can and does, it was Scott's phrasing that pushed his music into a unique and hard to pin down aesthetic sonic sphere. Lastly, I'd like to share a thought which, though clumsy, I hope would please Scott in hominum. And that is, if you asked me who I truly believed were the great voices of our generation, I'd say it were he, Lane, and Kurt. And of course, Lane Staley of Alice in Chains and Kurt Cobain of Nirvana.
And all 3 of them were born in 1967. How ironic is all this?
And all kind of belong to a certain movement. You know, the band sound is considered a blending of the alternative rock of the 1980s and 90s and the hard rock of the 70s, but also they had that grunge element.
Exactly. And then Chris Cornell was a little older, but still that generation. It's just wild.
Eddie Vedder as well. You know,
but Chris Cornell passed is the reason I brought him up.
But there was a very special little time for voices, I guess. He's another one who I still mourn to this day, but I'm so glad that he did what he did while he was alive. I have some of his other work too that he did solo and stuff, and it's just his voice. I just love his voice. There's
Great
something
voice.
About it.
Yeah, grungy but smooth. Very smooth voice.
Yeah. You know, he did Bar Blues and stuff. That was an album of his that he did solo, and you can really hear it. There's so much texture.
He did some funky stuff. Yeah.
Oh yeah, he did. I mean, without a doubt. You know,
it's like, who is this?
Yeah. I know. But with STP, I think he was the most brilliant. I mean, he was also in Velvet Revolver with Slash and Duff McKagan.
Right.
I can listen to these albums over and over and over again, and I can't say that about a ton of albums, you know?
Yeah, I get it.
So
yeah. Another song I really like a lot is Vaseline.
Vaseline is a great one.
Love that
you know?
song.
There are so many. Sour Girl, Dead and Bloated, Creep.
Plush.
Plush was a huge one as well. Huge. I think that was their most commercially successful song was Plush. So they
still hold up. The songs still hold up. Yeah,
absolutely. They were on Howard Stern a bunch, David Letterman.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, I think one of my favorite performances from them was on David Letterman. So
how about that?
You know, it's still good. I mean, they still feel contemporary to me, even though it's been a long time, you know? So
Sure.
Always in my heart, STP.
There you go.
So I saw a trailer for a new animated movie called Paws of Fury, The Legend of Hank. It's a kid's movie, you know, coming out July 15th. It's about Hank, who is a lovable dog, and he wants to be a samurai, right?
Oh,
I know. So I'm listening to this and I'm like, that's Samuel Jackson's voice. Like, okay.
No kidding.
That's Ricky Gervais.
Wow.
There's a lot of people. Oh, Michelle Yeoh. Okay. And Mel Brooks.
No.
Yes.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yes. So
Cool.
I thought that was like weird timing, you know, because I just saw the trailer.
I'll check it out.
Yeah, definitely.
Very cool.
It's coming out on the 15th of July. So
nice.
I wanted to let you know.
Yeah. Thanks.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I think that'll do it for us. What do you say?
Yeah.
Okay. We appreciate you listening. With that, we're out of here.
Thank you very much. We'll see you next week.